At the end of December 2025, last year, the boxer Anthony Joshua was involved in a horrific car crash. The international press and posts on social media, particularly Nigerians, immediately began distorting the narrative of the crash, disparaging Nigeria. Why does this happen? Why do we do this? We do this so often that it has to be more than our Nigerian penchant for exaggeration to make things exciting. The real reason is much darker and insidious. Here are the facts. On December the 29th, 2025, a Lexus SUV carrying Nigerian British boxer Anthony Oluwafemi Joshua OBE crashed into a stationary truck on the Lagos-Ibadan expressway, the busiest expressway in Nigeria, near the junction to Shagamu. Mr. Joshua only received minor injuries, but his two friends and long-term trainers, Sinagami and Latif Lats Ayodele, sadly died in the crash. In a statement, the Federal Road Safety Corps said, preliminary investigations indicate that the vehicle was traveling beyond the legally prescribed speed limits on the corridor, lost control during an overtaking maneuver, and crashed into a stationary truck parked by the side of the road. On the 2nd of January 2026, the driver of the car, Adeniyi Mobolaji Kayode, was charged by the Ogun State Police with death by dangerous driving, reckless and negligent driving, driving without due care, as well as driving without a valid national driver's license. Mr. Kayode's son, Ifeoluwa Adeniyi, has refuted these allegations, saying, "Dad is not a fast driver. He was following the speed limit and then the brakes failed. He said he was pushing the pedal, but nothing was happening. He tried to swerve and avoid the truck parked by the side of the road, but he hit it. He's been driving for Anthony for 3 years. He's a good driver." The case has been adjourned until the 16th of April. What the foreign media did with this story is not surprising. Their headlines: Manchester Evening News. The expressway where Anthony Joshua was injured in a car crash has been named Nigeria's deadliest highway, after 73 deaths were recorded on the road in the last 3 months alone. Daily Mail: Anthony Joshua's miracle escape on the highway of death. Hindustan Times: here is how Anthony Joshua's car crashed on one of Nigeria's deadliest roads. Social media was worse.
Nigeria is a country capable of producing world level, athletes and things like this, but the infrastructure in our country, the services in our country don't support the quality that we're producing. And this is the sad tale of every bloody Nigerian. Do you know how many Nigerians didn't flourish until they left Nigeria? It's a shameful thing to say about your own country. Like, it's getting to a point where it's just ridiculous. Of course he had an accident in Nigeria. The man has just won a fight, made loads of money, been discovered by America, all of these good things happening, and then you put Nigeria in the mix.
Anthony Joshua's accident in Lagos, Nigeria should act as a reminder for Africans in the diaspora to stop fantasizing about Africa. What you saw in that video, where you had an accident, people got brains crushed out there lying on the road, and there is no paramedics, no emergency support, that is the reality of what most people have to live by. Majority of Africa is like that. Someone got an accident and people are just praying for him, telling him he's not going to die, and there is nobody there seriously to help. That video is proof In what function of society would have that kind of scenario happens? So stop fantasizing and get real. If you're going to go to Dirty December, just remember, you're on your own.
Today, a world boxing champion like Anthony Joshua was involved in a car accident, and not a single ambulance showed up. Someone that rich and globally known. People only gathered around him like it was a carnival. No safety measures, no trained response, just chaos. Nigeria is a growing sickness. It's well known, and we see it every day. That's why we have that popular saying, "May Nigeria not happen to you." And they are planning to collect more tax when they can't even provide the basics of life. Nigerian roads are death traps. If it's not kidnappers, it's rogue police or terrible roads. No emergency response. No ambulance for Anthony Joshua. Yet this is the same country that aggressively demands taxes from its citizens. A tragic and shameful reality. All these comments are talking down on Nigeria or our government. Yes, there are elements of truth, but the story is twisted to produce a generalized framing. A framing that says Nigeria as a state is incapable, and therefore we as a people are also incapable. The particular section of the Lagos-Ibadan expressway where the crash happened is known for having the largest volume of traffic in Nigeria, so it has the largest number of speeding accidents. In this particular accident, the Federal Road Safety Corps acted as swiftly as they could to clear the crash and get the two survivors, Mr. Joshua and his driver, Mr. Kayode, out of the way as fast as possible to prevent more accidents. Most countries with a well-developed emergency network aim to achieve a response time of 7 minutes for accidents with potential fatalities. According to witnesses, Nigeria responded here in 5 minutes. And according to the Assistant Corps Marshal, Olusegun Ogungbemide, the response time of the Federal Road Safety Corps was less than 3 minutes. The FROSC first responders assessed Mr. Joshua, saw he was physically able to move freely, and seeing the safety risk of the gathering crowd, they allowed a security team to take him and his driver to hospital in their unmarked vehicles for security, while the FROSC team secured the crash site to make the road safe for everyone else. Instead of laying Mr. Joshua down, as some people might feel is correct, after an accident where someone could have internal injuries, Mr. Joshua was kept upright, which is the correct medical response to limit further injuries. When you have to move someone who is alert, conscious, can walk, and is not in medical shock. Unfortunately, all the ambulance crew could do when they arrived was to take the bodies of Mr. Joshua's friends away. As the Channels TV reporter said when interviewing FROSC Marshal Ogungbemide, it's not about what they feel, it's about doing the right things. Because you could see something that looks good to do, but it's not actually good.
I mean, in that kind of scenario, asking him to sit upright, moving him into a vehicle in that manner, not into an ambulance.
Yes, you could know. It's a matter of. First thing is that they discovered that they know that because our operatives were there, and while you are calling for the ambulance, they felt this man. He responded. If you look at the video, he responded fine. I know there could be temptation of maybe the issues of internal injury, but they felt at that moment that they have the ability and is able enough to
so that's the point you're making. It's not about what they feel. It's about doing the right things, because you could see somebody who looks good, but it's not actually good.
The very things that the FROSC were criticized for by Nigerians on social media were the right things to do. Many Nigerians complained on social media about our government after this and encouraged foreigners to join in, saying that the infrastructure of Nigeria is terrible because an ambulance did not arrive to take Mr. Joshua to hospital, or that the accident happened because Nigeria's roads are so badly maintained and therefore dangerous. Many Nigerians were yabbing our hospitals and medical expertise, saying that if the ambulance had arrived on time, then maybe Sina and Latif could have survived. They couldn't have, because they were killed immediately in the crash. In the days immediately afterwards, our people were also declaring that it was a good thing Mr. Joshua traveled back to the UK for long-term medical support because Nigeria is incapable of providing good medical care. Firstly, Mr. Joshua was only let go from hospital when his Nigerian doctors cleared him for flying. And secondly, medical insurance. No international travel insurance firm in the world would continue to pay out for medical bills when it is cheaper for them to fly a patient back to their home country, where they can then pass off medical responsibility and payment to the local health service. Insurance firms are not charities. They will always pick the cheaper option for themselves, no matter how rich their clients are. It is understandable that many people were shocked and upset at what happened and initially reported incomplete information through social media because no one knew exactly what had happened. However, many Nigerians, both in Nigeria and outside our country, repeated the few things they heard and added to it with their own desire to declare Nigeria as an incapable country. But why do we do this? Many Nigerians jump on government as the root cause of anything not working in Nigeria, and then declare everything as not working. But the root cause here appears to be bad behavior from Nigerian citizens. A truck driver who negligently parked on the side of an expressway. A driver who was probably speeding and then tried to overtake on the wrong side of the road. Many drivers on the Lagos-Ibadan expressway who stay in the fast lane. And when they are truck drivers, because those vehicles are physically restricted to a lower speed limit, they prevent people from safely overtaking them. But this doesn't fit the narrative that Nigerians who talk down on Nigeria want to portray. We are rightly fed up with certain things not working well in our country. But do we recognize when our government, at all levels, is working to fix things? Do we see that the FROSC has spent the last 2 years making sure all of its frontline staff are trained as first responders for road traffic accidents? Do we see that although traffic incidents on the Lagos-Ibadan expressway increased in Ogun State, as out-of-state traffic increased on Nigeria's busiest road, that the Ogun State Traffic Compliance and Enforcement Agency has successfully reduced the number of major traffic offenses in the state in the past year by more than 70%? No. And some social media influencers mislead and deceive people because they not only use an incident like Anthony Joshua's accident to advance their own agenda, which I can't really be complaining about myself. but they also misrepresent the facts around the tragic death of Mr. Joshua's friends to try and add weight to their arguments. When you are so focused on presenting a view of the world that aligns with how something makes you feel, that prejudice can lead you to support very bad things. Some influencers like say Adetun or Najobi have been continuously campaigning for better medical services in Ogun State. But have they investigated to see exactly why Governor Dapo Abiodun appears, in their opinion, to have put so little investment into ambulance services that they then think Ogun State doesn't have any?
Meanwhile, your state does not have one ambulance. Shebi, I told people that by the end of today, that was to post the ambulance that they have in their state. Except for Joe, you are telling me that I have access to any government parastatal in this country. Yes. Thank you for acknowledging that. How many cases have I called you personally to handle? How many cases have I done with Ogun State this year? Have you people ever sent an ambulance? You people don't have one. Everything that is related to ambulance, it is Ide Sanwo-Olu. Even this Anthony Joshua, Lagos State people met you halfway.
This is not true, by the way. Ogun State has ambulances. Not enough of them. But that is a different problem. Ogun State was in a financial mess when Governor Abiodun took over in 2019. The state was heavily in debt, about 655 billion naira in current money values. And 20% of this was in foreign currencies. Even today, using the latest statistics from the Debt Management Office of Nigeria, Ogun State has a total debt of over 468 billion naira, which is 145% of the Ogun State annual revenue. And because of the reduction in value of the naira in the past few years, 65% of that debt is in foreign currencies, making Ogun State very vulnerable to currency fluctuations. And you then ask why Governor Abiodun is constantly trying to limit spending, generate internal revenue, and save money for future infrastructure projects. Abeg, Adetun, just do small research. Not all Nigerians that use internet social media for social activism are this careless. Some are specific in criticizing the behavior of our government, while the activist Martins Vincent Otte, also known as Very Dark Man, was visiting Morocco for AFCON 2025. He posted a short video explaining exactly what he thought the government was getting wrong that caused Anthony Joshua's accident. Very Dark Man said that the Nigerian government needs to be putting many more speed limit signs up and finding Nigerian citizens who don't obey them. He did not criticize the government in general. Very Dark Man said,
Alright, so let me show you people what led to the death of Anthony Joshua's friends in Nigeria. What caused that accident that you saw? Let me show you what led to it that claimed their lives. Let me show you. Follow me. Now you see this number 80. This number 80 would have prevented the death of Anthony Joshua's friend. Have you ever seen this in Nigeria before? You have never seen it. This is what controls the speed limits we are meant to use on the road. On this road now, you cannot exceed 80 kilometers per hour. On this road, you cannot exceed 80. If you go to the front, you see maybe 70, 60, 40. You can go further and see 100. That is how you control the speeding on this road. And it's helped protect and save lives. In Nigeria, you don't have anything. We drive on a free road. If somebody want to do 500, bro, go do 500, they go. Nobody cares. You don't care if there's a turn or if there's a bend. Like now, in this Morocco, there are some bend. The road will be 40. Do you understand? You see 20, you see 10. If you go to the UK, the same thing. These are the road laws that our road safety and our government are supposed to put in place. But they have refused to put it in place. So how do you protect life? But of course, they don't care enough to protect it. They don't even like the people enough. They are just leaders for leaders' sake. You travel to this country, you go to Europe, you see how everything is structured in Europe, but you don't do it. This small thing, this number where you see here, so that ain't finish Anthony Joshua friends. Because imagine if that guy was driving, they would not have had that accident if they were here. Because he cannot drive that speed on this road. As he's driving, he's looking. There are policemen on the road. There are a lot of policemen on the road. They will stop you. They've stopped us like 3 times in this country. They say, you are speeding. Our guy where they drive say, I was not speeding. He said, no, you are speeding. And he brought out one something. He showed the thing and I said, see, this road is 50. You are driving more than 50. He now collected about 50 dirham from the guy. He paid the fine and he go. So anytime the guy is driving, the guy is careful. But in Nigeria, nothing. Now let's talk about the truck. It's so much. But if you want your leaders, if the leaders should live here, we should start controlling our roads. Until then, all those Dangote trailer accidents, all those overspeeding, all those things will continue to happen. That's the only way you can protect Nigeria. Speed limits, control limits on the road. This Allah don't play.
The Akinfadeyi Foundation commissioned a TV advert that speaks directly to the careless behavior of many Nigerians, showing people the importance of not speeding, parking properly, and using warning signs at accidents.
We won't carry you go see doctor.
But not true now.
Not you park motor for middle of the road.
I parked the motor because I said the brain box for the motor does when.
Did you see caution?
Where I go get that one from now?
The brain box where they inside your brain, you don't tell you say it is dangerous to park on the main road.
You don't tell me oh.
That's why we won't carry you go see doctor. Make they check your brain box whether it's still dey work.
No, carry me go.
Where they carry you, they go. Where they carry you, they go.
I leave motor for road. Lots of people come talk say na craze dey worry me. Say they want carry me go hospital.
Yourself, you not listen to yourself. My people, you wear your motor spoil for road. You not put caution sign, or you overtake from where you're not supposed to overtake. Not be crazy with that.
Play your part for an accident-free road.
I am Assistant Corps Marshal Olusegun Ogbemide MA9, the Corps Public Education Officer, FRSA Abuja. Road safety is our collective responsibility. Drive safely. Accident not in my country.
Over 1 million people die from road traffic accidents per year worldwide. Don't be a number, be alive. This message is from the Akinfadeyi Foundation in collaboration with the Lagos State Government.
This is how it should be done. Because when you are not specific in what the problem is and what people and our government needs to do to fix it, you are not criticizing. You are insulting. And if you resort to just insulting our government, you end up insulting Nigeria. You hide the real problem and make it harder to solve. The level of how much some Nigerians talk down on Nigeria is crazy. It is as though they are compelled to bully other Nigerians into silence. As at the same time, they declare how much they personally are better than Nigeria. And those people call this getting respect. Too many Nigerians, both at home and abroad, are so obsessed about how they failed to get appropriately respected in Nigeria by other Nigerians. They use every opportunity to blame Nigeria. Blame our country for failing to give them a position where they can be the big man or madam and look down on people. We all know that we as Nigerians chase status. And we keep showing in our media that a Nigerian can only be considered truly successful when they travel abroad. So we make being abroad or spending money on foreign instead of Nigerian an indicator of status amongst us. People who want to incite envy and jealousy in other Nigerians will often try and associate themselves with anything foreign or compare Nigeria negatively against foreign in an attempt to say, I should not be associated with this Nigerian thing. I should be considered better than you. These people are dangerous for Nigeria. Their attempts to promote themselves by talking down on Nigeria demarcates Nigeria and Nigerians, which affects you when you travel outside Nigeria or when you interact with foreigners in Nigeria. If your complaints about our nation's problems are not specific, accurate, and above all, actionable, no one will take your moaning and whining seriously. And when you consistently describe our country as irredeemable, others will accept that description. And if you are only talking down on Nigeria to try and look better than other people, this will be noticed. And foreigners in particular will disrespect you for it. But they won't just disrespect you for insulting your family in public. No, they will disrespect the next Nigerian they meet as well, believing that they have the same attitudes you do. You say Nigeria happened to you. No, we happened to ourselves. The question is whether we are prepared to respond to events with accuracy or with accusation. That choice will determine far more than one disparaging headline